But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
Let's go.
Get up on y'all. You gonna learn today.
Daddy, chill.
Call me Daddy.
We are back. No?
Oh, man, look at this setup. Look at that. What did Shane tell me? The old Groat tell me. Yeah, just keep your head down, DR. Just keep going. Just keep going, DR. Look at this. We got the red back. I should probably not wear black next time, but got the red and the black in the background. Got a nice setup in here. I can have guests in here. I can, touch people. Not dirty. I can touch them, though. Right here, we can fist pump and do stuff. I'm excited. This is the official, I don't even know what I call this, the official launch of Call Me Daddy. I have a laundry list of things I want to talk about. I'm going to try to bing, 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 ping pong them around, get to each one little by little. First things first, listen, don't cancel me yet. Let me finish what I'm going to say. I'm going to say something. People might not like it, but just don't cancel me yet. Just let me finish the thought, all right? Men and women are not equal. I had to say it. If you think men and women are equal, they're not, okay? And I'm only saying this, women are so superior to men. So superior. My wife runs circles around me. I cannot compete with her. Now, I'm not talking about sports. I'm not talking about jobs. Let's just eliminate that. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about a human being, okay? They are superior on all levels. They create a damn human being in their body. When I get this is where I'm going with this, all right? When I talk about superior. I can't even get I have an ingrown fingernail right now, okay? I've had it for a week. I almost went to urgent care for an ingrown fingernail. While my wife can pop out 2 babies, be perfectly fine, run circles around the house, do all the laundry, get the kids ready, feed them, do all this stuff, and I'm in bed laid up with a fingernail that is killing me. And I'm I think I gotta go to urgent care. I'm freaking out. It's swollen, it's puffy. And she's suck it up. Suck it up. And I'm yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. When I get sick, I am gone. I am useless piece of shit. When she's sick, she's still doing the same thing. Doesn't miss a beat. Does not miss anything. Taking the girls to school and taking them to the whatever they got going on. Running around Target and going to Kroger and going to the store and everything. Nothing misses in the house. On the flip side, I get sick. I can't even go live. I don't want to talk to anybody. I feel like I'm dying. I can't even get out of bed. I feel like I ran half a marathon. My legs are weak. I'm I can't do it. I can't do it. So yes, men and women are not equal. Women are superior. They're way better than us. They're the best human beings on the planet. All right, let's get into some sports things. Let's talk about some stuff in the hobby. We have a big week coming up next week. You guys are going to hear this the week of the National. It is the single greatest gathering of people in the collecting space ever. Once a year for 4 days. I call it the bachelor party for the hobby, because it seems like just everybody's there. Everyone's happy. Everyone is mingling. They're all drinking, having a good time. The show is so cool, but in the same sense, it's so overwhelming. It is so overwhelming. Like, when you walk in those doors for the first time, if you've never been to the National, you have to go. I recommend going at least once. If you just dabble in the hobby, you gotta go once. You don't realize how small you are when you go to the National. You don't realize how small you are until you walk in those doors. You walk in and it's just, I can't even describe it. You have to see it. The first National I went to was a long time ago. My dad took me. But then, after, post-COVID, I went to the Chicago National 2 years ago, and you just realize, when all these people talk about the hobby's dead and the market's down and, get out, sell your collection, all this stuff. You go to the National, it is a pick-me-up for the hobby. Everybody you leave there and you go, the hobby is not dead. The hobby is not slow. There is a lot of different avenues and pathways that you can take and you can do to be successful and have a thriving business in the hobby. But the National is, I don't like going. I had a very bad experience, as a lot of you guys know. 2 years ago in Chicago, we got COVID really bad, and it left a bad taste in my mouth, especially that city. I'm not a big fan of that city, but it's important for me to go because I'm going to be handing out merchandise and collaborating with people on stuff and talking with people and doing as much as I possibly can to put my name out there. That's so important for people who are getting their foot in the hobby right now. You have to do as much as you can to get your name out there. Give away free boxes. Do stuff for the kids there. That's so important. That'll change someone's life, and that might bring that person to come, spend money with you or whatever it might be. I think the National this year is going to be really interesting, with Fanatics coming in to the fold. This will be the first National where Fanatics has a huge foot in the hobby. It's going to be interesting seeing Whatnot on one side and Fanatics on the other. Like, where are those going to fall? Where are those going to fall in 6 months? What's Whatnot going to look like and what's Fanatics going to look like? If you haven't been tuning in, Fanatics launched their app a couple weeks ago at the All-Star Game. And now they're doing shows. The shows are growing on the app. How is that going to affect Whatnot? How is that going to affect Drip? How is that going to affect the card shop and all these other apps where you can buy, sell sports cards? Breaking, right? TikTok's taking off. eBay's suppressing breakers. I think the next wave, I think IG might come down on breakers, but we'll see. Hopefully not. That's where most of my breaks take place, but we'll see. Ken Golden's back in the news. That's on my notes right here. Ken. This guy, I'm going to get in trouble for this one. This guy is the herpes of the hobby. Let me explain. I feel like this guy just comes around once every 3 months. You see him. He pops up every 3 months. I think the last time we saw him was with the Netflix show. Now he's back because he's the CEO of his company again. I don't know. I guess he went on a hiatus for a couple years. But he's back. He's the CEO again. I have nothing against Ken, okay? That was not a dig at Ken. I just thought it was a good analogy to use because I feel like you just see him like 4 or 5 times a year. He makes an appearance. A triple logo man is hit. Here comes Ken with the triple logo man, I've never even met him, so there's that. I've had one interaction with them online. That's it. Okay. I want to go back to the National for a little bit. We are trying to get something together for the National that's going to be so cool. And I think it could bring a lot of people together. Like a lot of breakers and collectors and companies and fans and everybody come together for like a, like a special event, right? Bullpen, Mitch, and Ty, and that whole crew over there has been super cool with me and generous, and we've been talking, and we're trying to set up a live stream, something like this, something similar to this, where we could do a live stream from the show and bring in people to interview them. Get a 5 to 10 minute segment with all the top breakers and all the top collectors, and bring these guys in and just give them like rapid fire questions. And we could do like a 3-hour formed conversation and get all this content where you would never be able to get it before. Face to face. For me to get all these people in the hobby, I'd have to fly them out to Dallas and sit them down and have a structured interview. But if we could do an impromptu style interview, I think that would be the greatest content you can get. I can ask Jared, hey, Jared, what makes you think that people want to see your nipples out on some of these videos? Why are you taking your shirt off? And then he could say, oh, hey, I don't pay for marketing. I know that's going to spark interest. I know that's going to spark clicks. I know that's going to spark shares and likes and all these things that otherwise people are paying for. And so we can get that kind of content that you couldn't get other places. You'd have to fly these people in and do all these things for this. And I'm going to say it right now. I've never even met Ben. Ben and I are going to do this. I'll figure it out. However I got to do it, we're doing this. So if you're at the Natty, you're going to hear this before the National. If you were there, come by the bullpen booth. Come say hi. Come sit down for a minute or two. We'll do some sort of introduction. You can plug your company. You can say whatever you want, even if you don't even like me. Even if you don't like what I say, come down. We can have some dialogue. It would be fun. It'd be cool to see. And I think a lot of people outside would really enjoy that sort of view into the hobby. That live stream, all access view into the hobby. Recently, I might go on some tangents here. I don't know. I came over here. I came over here and I was like, I gotta get amped up for this. I gotta get fucking pumped, man. What am I gonna do? I was putting on the Game. I was putting on 50 Cent. I was putting on all the old school rap that I used to just slam in my car, my F-150. I was putting in all the rap. And I just I might go on tangents because I'm amped up. I had 2 cups of coffee like an hour ago. I'm not jittery, but I'm amped up for this. I'm super excited. If you're not watching, if you can't see this, if you're just listening, I implore you, go over to YouTube and watch this, okay? Get the access to the YouTube. Watch, because I'm scatterbrained, but I think you would enjoy it more. But for all the listeners, I appreciate wherever you listen to this, all right? Recently, I put Star Wars on the table. Like I said, tangent, I'm going. Up until 2 weeks ago, I never even ripped a box of Star Wars. Now, I like it because it's Topps, and I'm a big fan of Topps fanatics. I'm on board, okay? I'm on board with their movement and what they're doing. So I ended up buying some cases of Star Wars Sapphire. And I love it. I really enjoy opening it. I think it's like a nostalgia rip. It's got the Return of the Jedi. And last night, we pulled the Darth Vader. It's a Superfractor sticker. They have these sticker sets in the Sapphire. And there's only one of one. It's a Superfractor. They don't have any other parallels. There's no reds of this. There's no golds or oranges or blues or turquoises or greens or whatever. So we pulled this Darth Vader Superfractor 101 last night. And I never realized how big that market is. Like posting that card and tagging people and tagging Tops and Fanatics. My DMs have been flooded with people who hit that card. Is it available? Does he want to sell it? Like more than almost any other sport. Like we post a lot of big cards. We look at, between baseball, basketball, football, soccer, F1. But the Star Wars, it was like Attack of the Nerds in my DMs. It was like, who has this card? How much does he want? I want it. Is it going to go right at 10? I couldn't believe it. And then I found myself last night sitting in bed at like 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning. Just the edit is so much fun. I love editing it. I love ripping baseball, but a lot of these prospects haven't seen any light of day. So it's hard to do some sort of edit with the card because they don't really have any highlights. They have the AA, AAA highlights, but that's no fun. It's not like hitting an MLB player. So last night I found myself making 10 edits. I was like, this is so fun. I get to rewatch Return of the Jedi, clip all these Vader clips, put them together, throw the card in there. And I want to just do 5 reels because it's so fun. And it makes me want to rip more. And that's something that I think is lost in the hobby. It's I don't even have a Star Wars, base. No, I don't have people that call me up and say, hey, DR, why don't you put some Star Wars on the table? I'll rip it. I don't even have that. But that's what's cool about this hobby. It's now I want to put it on the table more. Even if it takes a long time to get ripped, even if it takes weeks and sits there around, it's just a fun rip. It's cool. So yeah. Go check it out. Superfractor auto or Superfractor sticker, not auto. I have a couple stories for you guys. Things that I think more people in my position should be doing. And if you're not doing this, I think the adapting to the market and the ebbs and flows of the hobby, I think you're going to get swallowed up. I had a customer, an old customer of ours. This guy calls me up 10 days ago, maybe less, maybe a week. And he says, hey, I'm overwhelmed right now. I said, okay, what's going on? He's like, I need you to FaceTime me right now. So we FaceTime, we got on the phone, and he's just going through all these cards in this room. And it's just a mess. It's just everywhere. He's like, I need to do something with these cards. I need to liquidate. I need to consolidate. I need to get down to the cards that I really like and I want to hold and stash. He's like, I need your help. He's like, I've gone through the issue. This guy got burned by Mark's cards. So you want to talk about how the long-lasting effects of what Mark's cards and people like that in the hobby can do? This is a story you should pay attention to. Because he got burned by a lot of cards and a lot of money subbing through Mark's cards. And this intertwines with everything that I talk about with trusting people and just being a good human being. Don't be a scumbag. I say it in every episode. Don't be a scumbag. And he calls me and he's like, you are the only person I trust. And coming from this guy, which I know what he does and I know his background, this was one of the biggest praises, one of the biggest fuck yeah, pat myself on the back. Because Now, this is going to be crazy. Listen to this. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I'm flying out to LA. I'm going through his collection. I'm going to load it up in a rental car. And I'm driving it back to Texas. We weighed all the options. He's got over 400 slabs. He's got thousands and thousands of raw cards just everywhere. And we were like, should we fly it over? Should I get a bunch of big suitcases and bring it? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. What if they lose the luggage? Should we ship it? No, we don't want to ship it. It's too heavy. It's, what are we going to insure? $100,000. Like, what are we going to do with this stuff? And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get back to Texas like Saturday, Sunday, depending on how much I want to drive in a single day. And then I'm going to get back into a car and drive to the National, which is like 14 hours away. And I'm telling you this story because I think it's important for people to understand the lengths that you should go for your customers and for people that have supported you, especially this guy. This guy supported us when we were really not that big. We were just kind of flying under the radar. And he would come in, and this guy would rip cases with us. Cases. So for me, it's like, this is the least I can do for this guy. I'm like happy to do this because I know getting him money back, and we're consigning all of his cards. So getting him money back in his pocket is one, going to make him happier. It's going to relieve that anxiety he talked about. And I know this guy's going to reciprocate, right? This guy's going to come back in the live and, certain products he's going to spend again. So I think it's important for people in my position, other breakers, to step up and go, hey, let's take care of our customers, okay? Hey, why aren't you, you're not spending. Okay, you have a big collection. Okay, well, can we help you with that? Can we dial that in for you? Can we sell some cards on eBay, sell them on Instagram, sell them on whatnot? Do single streams and just figure it, tackle it. I did that for Scrim. One of my best friends, he was like, I can't do it anymore. The room is insane. It's overflowing with cards. Take it all and sell it. And I'll tell you guys, in a month span, I was able to get $70,000 back in his pocket. Now, does he need the money? No. But when he's texting me, when I'm wiring him this money, and he's texting me going, it's real nice receiving a wire and not always having to worry about sending wires. So those are the relationships that everybody should really build, because I think it's better for the hobby. And a lot of these guys who have these collections, they were not guided in the right direction. They came into the hobby and they're being told, rip flawless baseball, rip unlicensed stuff, or go rip this high-end product. Instead of being like, hey, I don't recommend this. You can rip it. It's fun. It's a cute rip, but I don't recommend buying this. If you want to buy it, cool. It's your money. You do what you think. I recommend doing this. You want return on your investment? I think you should go A, B, and C. If you want the fucking, throw it on the wall and see if it sticks. If I hit a $10,000 card, yeah, go ahead and rip that flawless. But you might hit a $10,000 card. The case costs you $26,000. Cool. Nice $10K card. You just sat on your thumb for $26,000. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but the Ohtani hype, I think it's real. I think he's the best player in our generation. I don't think the cards that they're selling, I think the big cards are justified. Cool. Get that money. But I saw guys at the Dallas show this last weekend. like $5, $10 cards in PSA 10 slabs, trying to get $200, $300, $400 for these slabs. And they're just like pumping it up. I think there's a problem with some of those. I think a lot of people, I would eavesdrop on some conversations and overhear people on the show going, oh, I gotta buy myself an Ohtani. No, you do not. He is probably at one of his peaks. Why not go take that money and spend it on a lower end player, somebody who's flying under the radar? Take a chance. Because guess what? More than likely, the Angels aren't going to make the playoffs. Ohtani might go to another team. Who knows? Those cards are going to come way down. If you want to buy Ohtani, buy Ohtani in October, November, maybe November, December. That's when you should buy Ohtani. Don't buy him now. Don't buy into the hype. That's what the same thing with Ellie. Ellie's cards are going to come way back down to earth. Figure it out first. If you have questions about shit, fucking reach out to people. Impulse buy will kill you. It happened to me. I impulse bought on Jarren Duran a year and a half ago. I spent about $12K into Jarren Duran, and I got about $3K back. I sold all of his cards at National last year, and it was an impulse. I got tipped off from a friend, oh, Jarren Duran's the dude. He's got the most work ethic. He's the next guy in Boston. Now, if I would have held another 9 months, I probably would have broke even because he peaked again in the beginning of the year. But the timing is everything. Timing is everything. Buy football right now. Buy basketball right now. Don't buy baseball. I'm the baseball guy. What are you doing? Unless it's someone whose numbers are so low, I get it. But what are you doing going and spending fucking all this money on Ellie? His cards are going to come down. They will come down. The only way that card keeps going up is this guy's he's got to win Rookie of the Year. He's got to go to the playoffs. He's got to rake in the playoffs, and they got to go to the World Series, basically, for that card to keep going, those cards to keep going up. So I do think the Ohtani hype is real. Don't get me wrong. The guy is one of the greatest players we've ever seen, but don't go too crazy. Don't go out and buy these paper PSA 10 inserts that these guys are going, there's a low pop. Hey, there's a low pop on this card. It's pop 4. Well, yeah, no way. No wonder it's pop 4. Nobody's fucking grading that card. Most of the time, those cards don't even get shipped in breaks. Because it's come from top series 1 or top series 2. Some just dumb insert. And I fucking love tops. But that series stuff is rough. It is rough. You know what else is rough? Raising kids in this fucking world. Oh man. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know how people are gonna keep putting out kids right now. The stuff that is on the internet right now is brutal. And like I said, tangent. I'm going off. I'm just going. I got cards to kids to fucking bing, bang, boom. The stuff that you see is insane. Right now, the trend is this like AI thing. Thank you for the cake. Thank you for the cake. What is this? What are we doing? I don't know. It's so... The kids these days it's doomed. We're doomed. They're just going to start acting like robots and pretending they're AI character. And I don't know. I guess they're making money. I go on there sometimes. I see they're like 1,000 people in their room as they're acting like an AI person, not breaking character for like an hour straight. And they're just getting gifts sent to them. And I don't even know what that correlates to money. I know the coins correlate to money, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. I try to keep my girls, and I'm going to end on this. I try to keep my girls off the tablets and internet and stuff like that as much as possible. But there are some positives that can come out of it. You know, my oldest daughter was like lacking in certain areas when it came to, you know, vocabulary and math and all this stuff. And we've incorporated that so she can do things on the fly to kind of stimulate the brain and get the neurons firing. So I think there are positives to it with using tablets and technology, but I don't think it's good. Overall, it's not good. Especially how easy and accessible these things are now with our, you know, right here. It's just right here. Everything's right there. Everything I do is right there. And it's hard. It's hard. Because my wife's just like, you need to put down the phone. You need to spend time, like, and I try to. So it's so hard. It's an addicting thing. And that's the thing that I don't want to translate to my daughters, is it just become like this addicting thing. But with what I'm doing currently, it's hard. Because I'm by myself doing TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, like all these platforms. I download, I'm editing a video or editing a picture, and the next thing I know, I'm now gotta like hit all the social media platforms. Fire away, hashtags, make sure the picture looks good, make sure the editing on the video is spliced all together, make sure it's under a minute, and then your brain just like, just fucking explodes. Put down the phone for a little bit and spend time with the family. Don't let your kids watch too much of that stuff. I will say this, though. My daughter watches some of these, like, she watches Bluey a lot. Bluey is the shit, all right? Bluey is good. She comes up with these, like, crazy words. I'm like, where did you hear that? She's like, oh, Bluey said it. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I don't know. I would never even use that word in my vocabulary. But we're done. I'm done. Let's end it. I think that's good. Before we go, follow us on all platforms. Fucking hit the like button. Hit the share. Go to YouTube. Watch me be all over the place. This is where podcasts are going to be held from now on. We're going to try to bring people in the studio to get that intimate interview style. And yeah, big things coming. I can't wait. I appreciate all the follows, all the likes, all the shares, all the subscribes. Download the pod. Listen to us every Monday. We love you.